for that purpose, this orientation program is going to help you how you will approach this subject, how you will study, how you can be sincere, methodical, and meticulous in preparing your the course knowledge. So for that, again I will tell you, you are very, very fortunate batch to have such a giant who is going to join us, Professor D.P. Verma. Professor D.P. Verma is a member of Law Commission of India. So he will be giving you how to approach this study. So you are very, very lucky that you are going to listen to him. As a part of this program, what we used to do is that we used to introduce different committees, as Madam has stated. What we are doing in this committee, I am going to here tell you about the seminar committee. This program, presently now you are here, is also organized by the seminar committee. And like this, there are many committees: Gender Sensitization Committee, then Mood Court Society, Entrepreneurial Clinic. Like that, we have different societies. They are organizing many programs, developing the skills of the students. Because it is not that your education starts and ends within the four walls of the classrooms. It's not like that. You learn many things, hands-on experiences.
Namaskar, not to the dean from within HR. नमस्कार, आप सभी का स्वागत है, अभिनंदन है। We are now moving on to a journey of collective, cooperative learning, unlearning exercise. तो जहाँ तक सवाल है हमारे लॉ का, I will just say 2 or 3 points. Law is something which is relevant to each one of us, irrespective of the fact whether we get into the profession or not. I would like to have your attention, please. Allow existence through different streams, be that science, be that political science, philosophy, or be ethics, sociology, anthropology. कोई सा भी स्ट्रीम ले लो ना, हम कुछ ना कुछ चीज़ों को समझते हैं, हम अपने माहौल को, हम अपने समाज को समझते हैं. Law is all about social construction and understanding. So with that background, when we interact and join together and put our heads together, we get to learn lot many nuances जो कि हमें छोटे से बैच में नहीं मिलता है. तो मैं ये नहीं कह रही हूँ कि वहाँ पढ़ाते नहीं हैं, मैं ये भी कतई नहीं कह रही हूँ कि वहाँ अच्छा नहीं पढ़ाते हैं, लेकिन जितना अच्छा हम यहाँ सीख सकते हैं, पढ़ सकते हैं, जान सकते हैं, वो कहीं और आपको नहीं मिलेगा. So I would only request, cajole, persuade each one of you to please exercise that discretion and choice so that you expose yourself to these different perspectives. You learn from others, and certainly in the process of learning from others, you will have to unlearn lot many attitudes. And I look forward to that shaped personality and persona wherein you left your baggage behind and now have started thinking on the lines of objective neutral assessment. इससे ज़्यादा बहुत कुछ नहीं बोलूँगी, नहीं तो भाषण लगेगा. समय के साथ हम एक दूसरे को जानेंगे, पहचानेंगे. और एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि प्लीज अगर कोई आपको डिफिकल्टी होती है, दिक्कत होती है, if you happen to have any concern, speak up and we will try our level best to get it addressed. तो आप पूछिए, बात करिए, समझिए, इंस्टेड ऑफ वो जो होते हैं ना आमने सामने खड़े हो जाते हैं. हर चीज का समाधान कम्युनिकेशन से निकलता है. तो बेहतर रहेगा अगर हम एक दूसरे से बात करके समाधान निकालने की कोशिश करें, क्योंकि मेरे पास भी तो सब चीज़ों का समाधान नहीं होगा ना. या हमारे जितने भी यहाँ पढ़ाने वाले मेरे साथ माननीय मेरे सदस्य हैं. Each one of them have got their own explicit understanding and handling of life events. So please utilize that. Reach out. We do not have that concept of mentor and mentee, but I can tell you 200% from here that the moment you approach any teacher, he would be more than a mentor to you. So we are all willing to help you out, and we all experience during our lives moments wherein we are in a state of dilemma. कोई बात नहीं है, ये समय ही ऐसा है. जीवन का यही समय ऐसा है जहाँ कि हमें कई सारे मोड़ स्वर्व करने होते हैं और मोड़ों को नाप कर हमें आगे करना होता है. So we need to find our ways and we need to chart our own journeys, and wherever you need our help and assistance, I assure you my entire collective and team would be ready to help you out at every step and will handhold you in your life journeys. Thank you very much. God bless and take care.
So right now, the another, COP27 is happening. So in last year, the COP27, the key issues and the way forward, how we can look at the climate change issue as a major issue, what kind of legal solutions that we can make. So that was deliberated in a program conducted on 10th November 2022. Professor K. Purushottam Reddy, eminent environmentalist from University of Osmania University, he has come from Hyderabad. So we have posted him and we conducted this program. And after that, you might have heard about the G20 program happening. Just now it concluded. All over the country, several discussions, several workshops have been conducted, and we have also conducted some programs. The first program we have conducted is on India's presidency of G20, setting the tone for global environmental and financial governance. So how India can contribute in this G20 opportunity when India is the president. Professor Rahul Tripathi from Goa University has come. So he was there with us, and in addition to that, our speakers here, Madam was there, and I was also there. Dr. Vikesh Tripathi was there. So we conducted this program on November 15, 2022. So this was another program. Then on Human Rights Day, we have celebrated. We conducted a seminar on International Human Rights Day on 9th December 2022, and in which we have invited three Supreme Court lawyers. One is Dr. Amit Mishra, Advocate Supreme Court. Then Ms. Tanvi from Supreme Court, she is also advocate. And Mr. Rohit Pandey, he was and he is now also the Secretary of Supreme Court Bar Association. So they came and we had a very fruitful program. Then after that we had a program on G20 again. The G20 Vision for Sustainable Development Goals, Legal and Policy Leadership for the World. And this was graced by the Honorable Law Minister. Honorable Law Minister of India, who he has come here as the chief guest, Sri Arjun Ram Meghwalji, and the Director General of the RIS, Research and Information Systems for South-South Cooperation, Professor Sachin Chaturvedi. So they have come here and they have shared their views on how India's leadership could be in this changed context. So like that, we used to organize different seminars, workshops and conferences for the students on different themes. And the advantage is that, you may know many people and you also have some themes in mind. You can also come and approach us. You can tell us that, sir, can we have this program? And I know can we bring them for our discussion. So we will be very much welcoming such situations, and we will invite and we will organize the programs. So this is about the seminar committee, and I welcome all of you to participate in this session.
We are going to have 3 years, and 3 years are not going to end with your just teaching. That's only the teaching which we will be having, teaching and learning. But we can have a long association after these 3 years. So each one of you, please experiential learning is something which you need to gain from. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I call upon Dr. Upendra Nath.
Tell the committee members, because there are many committee members, faculty members who are part of this committee. So I am there in the committee, and Dr. Sanjeevni Raina is one of our members. Dr. Anil Sain, Anil Sain is part of us, and Dr. Vikesh Tripathi. In addition, we have Dr. Anju Sinha, who is not with us now. Dr. Anju Sinha, Dr. Saival Satyarthi, Dr. Shivika Chaudhary, and Dr. Kalidas. So these are our seminar committee members. You can approach any of them for any help. Thank you.
Students. NSS and sports committee as well.
Respected team men and our PIC men, faculty members on the dais and off the dais, and dear students and friends. We have NSS unit. NSS is a central sector scheme of Government of India under Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. It provides opportunity to students and to do various community-based services. We conduct various activities, and it is students-led committee. We have adopted one village also, and the purpose of this is to develop social leaders, to make efficient administrators, and to develop a person who understands society well, because there are various community-based activities like tree plantation, carrying out educational activities in the village adopted by us, then creating awareness regarding social activities, social problems. We have 4 units in our NSS team. Like we have Project Priyas, we have Project Shiksha. We have to join this committee, and very soon we will call students to send their names and telling what are their purpose, why they want to join it. We just 2 days back we had one cultural interaction with the team came from Kerala. Then there are various seminars we conduct. We call people to share their thoughts on social problems. Another project, we have Project Heal India, where we conduct blood donation drive. We meet real heroes. We meet, we call sometimes psychologists to deal with, to say things on mental health, because mental health is very, very important. There are a lot of stress nowadays. So we conduct yoga classes also sometimes. So this was NSS. Another committee which I had is sports committee. Today I read Shri Ravi Shankar's articles in Indian Express, and he said about sports. He said sports are a natural phenomena where we laugh and cry together. A sport or a game is the first expression of life. A baby, even before it starts recognizing faces and speaking, starts playing. I would say sports is the purest expression of life, and so honoring it is honoring our own life force. we need to learn the art of equanimity, which is developed through sports, because we learn many things from sports. Sports gives us happiness. In our committee, again, it is also a student-led committee. We have one sports secretary and 2 sports convener, and like NSS, very soon we will call students for reforming this committee, and we conduct various sports events. Even our students participate in events which takes place in Delhi or outside Delhi. So I look your participation and join this committee, because your participation is very much required to make this committee successful. Thank you very much.
Respected Dean Ma'am and the respected Professor in charge of the Law Center 1 and the Patron in Chief of the Seminar Committee and today's orientation program Patron in Chief, the Professor L. Kumar Sir, the Convener Seminar Committee, Sir Nidhi Rana Ma'am, today's Master of Ceremony, my dear students, colleagues, and other distinguished guests present here. I, Dr. V.K. Tripathi, has to present today another very important committee, that is the Entrepreneurial Law Clinic, where we, with our available resources and with coordinating the university authorities and incubation center, we try to train you for legal startups, innovations, and various entrepreneurial skills that will be useful for you. As you can see, I request the Raj to kindly move on to the, so you can see the first one slide, the previous one, the team entrepreneurial law clinic. Yes, the first one. So the respected Dean Ma'am and the PIC is the Patron in Chief of this clinic. I, Dr. V.K. Tripathi, as a convener, and as of now the 2 members, Dr. Meghraj and Dr. Gurpreet Singh. Now the next slide, please. So what we do exactly, the ELC of the Law Center 1 provides the counseling and services to entrepreneurs as well as our alumnus and final year law students on legal aspect. Though our law students, we are able to be services, number of entrepreneurial services like how to start your legal startup, how to start IPR and mediation, arbitration, or any other law firm with specialized legal services. Now, there are various corporate entities selection counseling, because when you start doing any startup or innovation, you need to have a corporations or limited liability company or partnership, joint ventures, sole proprietors, benefit corporations, non-profit corporations like NGO, trust or society. These are the models through which you can start your own startups, like any legal startup, either through firm, NGO, or the detailed workshops will be take place as and when it will be required. Now next please. Now we dividing strictly for negotiation and drafting the various documents, business documents particularly. So shareholders agreement, operating agreement, joint venture agreement, operational documents like customer agreement, vendor agreement, suppliers contract, commercial lease, then financial documents like loan agreement, notes, and guarantee bonds. Now next please. Now another startup opportunity is in the field of intellectual property rights. So we provide a counseling and other kind of services, that is the copyright registration, copyright societies, trademark registration, patent, further GI tag and registrations. Yes. Then arbitration, alternative dispute resolutions is another emerging area. So drafting arbitration agreement, recommending trained arbitrators and providing institutional arbitration services in certain cases to buyers, mediation services, negotiation services, and good officers to that. Yes. Now the legal startup, that is what the crucial point where we are now more focusing. The group of law students are interested to start their own legal publication houses. So we provide them the counseling assistance, and the university provides the seed money also with the government of India's fund. Now the legal news channels, if you are planning, you can start. So there, what the best we can do, we will be allowing to that. Apart from that, legal act where information technology and the law. So you can take a particular legal services, and if you are planning, if you are IT background, we will be helping you out. Now the client management services, lawyers need it. then the business promotion services to the firms and advocates. Apart from that, another emerging area is the chamber maintenance services, so where you can plan your startups and think of that. Then related other services to the firms and order, advocate, starting new study centers, coaching centers for judicial services. Now we have a provision of Indian Company Act, we can start educational services. So we will be finding number of companies, they are coming to the study circle, they are certificate courses, a small workshop they are running and they are charging fees. So there you can think to start your own startup in the form of the study circle. And then counseling and financial assistance. But let me tell you very frankly, being a public university, we have limitations. So as and when and to the extent within the university administration system, whatever the funding and other things available, we will be ready for you. Now next please. Our regular activities, how we operate, that is the seminar, conference, workshop and invited lecture. Supervisory meetings we do. We do the community workshop, client work and visiting tools. Now last very quickly. So if you are interested to work with us as a first year law student, you can work with us as a student volunteer, as a client, final year student, as a student training, second year student, and earn while learn scheme university is running where we also try to incorporate you. Now moving to the last slide, please. If you are interested to join, this is a POEL law clinic. We will be opening very shortly the forms for that. As of now, our contact is the residential address, the official address of the law center 1. Apart from that, you can visit to the clinic from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Unknown Bhavan 116. And we have our committee, we have our official Facebook as well as our official email ID where you can write with any proposal, any startup plan you have. You are welcome there. We will be all possible help, counseling and whatever the financial aid, we will be ready with that. So you are most welcome. We will be very soon opening our enrollment forms where we will be very eager to invite you. Thank you very much. Super Agnes.
Thank you, Dr. Vikesh, for introducing your curriculum to the students' pleasures. Now I request Dr. Rupender to introduce legal services. In addition to LSS, sir would be introducing you to the library committee also, wherein he would brief you what all books and how to use the library.
Dear students, collegians, respected dean ma'am, and all the members of the organizing committee, I have been given opportunity to introduce two committees. That is Law Center this is Law Legal Service Society, for which I am the convener, and another committee is the Library Committee, and both these committees are the crucial committee. So I would just like to introduce these two committees in brief, that for what objective these committees are working and what will be the further course basically. But in brief you will see, otherwise you know that for every committee there will be an orientation program and you will be introduced in detail in those particular program also. So I would just elaborate in short and try to introduce those committees and about the importance of those committees. Let's come to this Law Center 1 LSS and this particular committee is very much active committee and prestigious too with that, and particularly from a long time, but due to this corona period we were not basically able to basically sustain that strategy that was earlier, but we are recovering all the activities. Come to this Law Center 1 Legal Service Society, and particularly I think you will be aware about the Legal Service Act in brief, and particularly it's a constitutional objective that the person, those who are not capable enough to basically go with their legal remedies, they are not basically aware even about their rights. So So for fulfilling the constitutional objective, specifically for under the directive principle of state policy 39A, although I'm not going to elaborate about the whole legal development by this particular free legal aid given to distance, but you may see for fulfilling that objective how we are going to do that. And we as a committee, basically, in a resource that is provided by the department, we as a human source, we have human resource, and you and we as a teacher working in different capacity, and we are working as a bridge between the DSLSA and the society. So we are supposed to basically work as a bridge between these two, society and the DSLSA, and particularly when it came up that what we are doing, how we are doing, we are concerned about. And certainly I know that this is very much a pertinent question that you should post. You may come for this objective that we are going to achieve through this legal service society to fulfill the obligations of, because as you know, I'm always elaborating, there are some two statutory provisions that is for achieving the constitutional objective. There is Legal Service Authority Act that is ultimately to achieve the objective of the constitution to provide the legal services to the down to date. And this whole procedure is under this Legal Services Authority Act is there, and we are basically, although not the part, but certainly we are supporting about the achieving that goals. And you may see about how this law LSS basically contribute in that. LSS aims to provide the law students an occasion to learn by doing, and what we do and what you will do further, because once we came for to constitute committee, how the committee is going to work, and it is, I believe that even how the committee is working, how we are going to do, particularly there is no need to be in a capacity. If you are a good human being, you can play the role as an individual also. So after certain time, the link will be given to you, and I believe that you all are the repressors, you are not the member. So opportunity will be given by that committee to you all will become the member. The notice will be circulated through the departmental website. You may see this objective. Use social spaces as the classrooms, and certainly, as you know, once we came for about the how much time we have, because it will take. So we have a limited time. I'm not going to explain everything. Certainly, once we will come through this committee, I will elaborate everything. But particularly, just I would like to talk about something practical. And certainly, I heartily welcome you as a convener of the LSS for further course of the activities that you will be invited. And certainly, I believe that all the students, those who have joined law, basically, although you are learning the things in the theoretical part in the classroom, but you will see the practical part in the society, that how the law is going to be enforced, who are the real beneficiary, and how as a person of law or as a person, as a student of law, you are going to contribute for the society. And particularly, I believe that you will do, and particularly with, together we will be as a committee in the name of the student and the teacher committee, and you as a member of the LSS, we all will do and achieve the target that is set under this committee. And I would just like to elaborate about this committee a little bit, because there is a student committee, there will be convener and the other office bearers, convener and co-convener and other office bearers are there, and they are certainly works like basically for working of this smooth functioning of this committee or this society. So particularly once when it came up, what we do, ultimately we are not going to give any kind of legal help directly, but what we do, we basically bring those who are needy. So we identify, we find out through going in the field, different slums area, different area where you can find out the persons who are very much not aware about their rights. They are not aware about the minimum amenities that they are required. Even the law what recognized about the dignified life under Article 21. So we are supposed to bring a person with awareness that we should also aware them, and once they will aware, we will provide them a little bit some opportunity for if they are lacking something legal right, so the Jalsa will basically deal with that. You may confirm the structure of legal service society is there. You may see that there are faculty members, there is a convener, although co-convener is not project type post is there, but particularly we are working as a convener and members. And then legal services clinic is there. You will see that in old campus, that is called campus law center, you will see that there is a clinic where we are supposed to interact with the society, particularly there will be council from the DALSA, and the students will be there, and they will coordinate, and if any person feel any kind of remedy, he required any legal remedy, so then he may come there, and particularly we are supposed to basically reach. It is not that they are coming, we are supposed to reach them, and particularly through the different outreach program, we are supposed to, and certainly we have an obligation as a law person that we are supposed to help them and reach them for the legal remedy. You see about the student executive body is there, and certainly for this semester you will also be given opportunity to work as a committee, either in the name of this member or in this committee also we will constitute further, and you will be invited. Then paralegal volunteers. What are the paralegal volunteers? Basically, it's a kind of this Delhi District Legal Services Authority basically give a training of 3 days, and they certainly sensitize and they give a training that how you are going to basically help those who are needy, and particularly even they provide some opportunity to deal with the police station and other in other capacity you will work, and even for that they pay also and you learn there. So we will also invite application for the paralegal volunteers for 1 year. They give the certificate for the 1 year and certainly to deal with the JALSA. You may see about the paralegal volunteers. Then after that, registered student members. So if you wish, because last time students were basically claiming that they lose the membership. So it's your own duty that you should access every day the website of the department, and although due time will be given for the notice that you are supposed to know the notice. So make it a habit. You should go for notice every day. If any notice came for your perspective, for your reference, or your interest, you are supposed to go through that notice. And certainly, I believe that more number of students will basically come for the membership, because there is no restriction, there is no number mentioned that how many students will be member for that committee. So I believe that 100% students will basically join as a member and work for the objective of this society and to achieve the objective of this society together as a student and as a committee. Next one, you may see about the legal services clinic, and certainly you may see basically how this legal service society came into existence in brief, and that you may see that is inauguration was held about this legal service society on 25th August 2012, and it was inaugurated by Honorable Justice Muralidharan. That was the High Court judge at that time, in the presence of Mr. Siddharth Luthra, Additional Solicitor General of India. And here the constitutional provision has been mentioned where we ensure about the justice, and specifically under Article 39A. You may confirm about how we are working on always repeating about the collaboration with the Delhi District Legal Services Authority. And then the statutory provision is about the Legal Services Authority Act. You will read, because once we have to face as a committee also, once we have to pick about the students as a committee. So certainly if the number will be enough, so then we are supposed to go through some certain procedure, and we will basically take the test also. From you people that how you are going to be. member, and for that you should know about the legal rights, you should know about these instruments, you are supposed to know that how this authority is working. So you are supposed to know about these legal instrument also with that. Legal services clinic, how it is, once again it is mentioned there, you may see. I will also elaborate this further, but particularly you may talk about paralegal volunteers. What is the qualification? Basically, every student wish to be a paralegal volunteer, but certainly it is not in our hand that we are going to give the certificate, because we have to go with some certain kind of criteria, certain kind of limitation is also imposed there. So in that perspective, we have to actually we take criteria, and that may be the exam, that may be some interview. It will depend on the time and the number of the candidates, that how much candidates are applying for to be paralegal volunteers. So in that perspective, you are supposed to come through that, and once the application will be asked, and the number of the paralegal volunteers will be basically decided on behalf of this district legal services authority Delhi. So they will decide, and then after that we have to pick the students through some certain criteria for this training. But I suppose that those who are coming with the fair hand, with serving the society, will certainly be selected to serve the society in this capacity also as a paralegal volunteer. And you may see that although once when it came for that there is no criteria, but for our part to become a paralegal volunteers, there is a criteria, and that is that you are supposed to be a member of this committee. So primarily to become a paralegal volunteers, once the Google form will be there, so you are supposed to be the member of this legal service society, and then after that for further procedure you may become the committee member, you may become further for the paralegal volunteers also. Come to the anyway, we have much more time. You can see the peak. This was the training in previous year. We have basically organized with the collaboration of the district legal services authority, and it was I should say this one, that we were seeking some 100 students. Basically, it was the limitation previous year, and we requested as a committee from the DALSA that we have much more students, and why you are giving this 100 number, and we requested and they increased the number. And in previous year even, I don't know that what was the reason. I was also searching that what was the reason that we even not able to find out the much more number of the students for PLB training. And although later on students were claiming that we have not been given opportunity, that's why I am warning you that you should be very much careful about what is going on in the department. And for that there is a source, and that is the website. You should certainly visit that website regular time. That's why this is the only source where you can find out the information regarding the different committee and the departments notices too. See, this is the peak. Now we have this committee, because it is not that this whole committee is working in single capacity, because under the committees also we have different committees with different objective, and that is the clinical committee, outreach committee, logistic committee, seminar committee, research committee, play educates committee, and you may choose in these committees according to your own interest, and we will certainly provide some kind of liberty to you to work basically in the capacity, in different capacity under these committees. So you are supposed to basically come through the procedure that will be adopted by the majority decision of the committee, teachers committee, and then after that you may come and you may basically use your own interest in serving the society in the different capacity further. These are the reports basically what we received from our outreach program. I will explain all these things in next once we come in depth explanation about those committees introduction, or specifically these are the outreach programs that we organized previously in different areas like Rohini, like Jahangirpuri. These were the some areas where we have tried, because as you know, north, south, east, west is there. So ultimately we have to decide, although we have a big number, and we should reach everywhere for the whole day. I believe so that what we did previously, we will certainly do something better for the future. And with your help, certainly I believe that we will need some. Okay, sir. We will take it, and certainly once we will come back about our this committee or society, we can discuss all these things once we organize about some orientation with reference to this specific committee. You may come for this achievement, because I should appreciate the students, those who are basically involved actively, because there was a competition that was related to the paper presentation, and they awarded the first place. That was a research paper related to the right to education, and our the students of the Legal Service Society. Now I would basically like to introduce another committee. Okay, it's always happened. So we should be mentally prepared. Although I was basically excited to show some picture of the library with our discussion, because there was a different slide, and the first slide was basically like I have to take the pic for some report, and I was taking the picture and there was no student in the library. So it's also a kind of joke that the library is there and the students are not in the library, because it's not a joke but a serious concern also, that library is in library we are supposed to be as a teacher, as a student, to spend some time. But the question is that why we are lagging and why we are not going to basically enhance our own knowledge and research work with that library. And in that picture. So I was just comparing, because there was those weeks there was no student, no teacher, and ultimately in last there was a Hindi. There was some statement of a writer that the books are waiting for the reader. And the question is, what benefit is, for whom benefit is that library is? And ultimately, just I would like to say thanks to because on behalf of this library committee, the Poonam Das madam is the convener, and the other members are there, like Dr. Gurpreet Singh. I am also the member of that committee. Professor Anju Rai Tiku madam is there as a member, and other teachers are also there. Dr. Ravindra Kumar is there working as a member, and we have certainly plenty of books is there, and we are also part of the central library, basically Manchani Kempa under the Delhi University, and we have plenty of books. You are supposed to go and particularly read the books, and if you find any problem, certainly we invite your recommendation also in different time period, that if you require any books, you can even mention those books, and the committee will basically try to find out those crucial books for your benefit, for your course, for your other research work also. So thank you everyone for
Thank you, Dr. Upendra, for introducing LSS and Library Committee. All the committees will have their separate orientation program. The detail will be given to you in those programs as well. Now moving on to the most awaited part, respected Professor G.P. Verma sir here is with us. We extend our hearty welcome to sir. Thank you so much sir for accepting our invite and being here. Not only to encourage the freshers, but to second and the third year students and to the faculty as well. Thank you so much sir for being here. It's a pleasure to have you here in the faculty, especially for Law Center 1 students. I would now request our guest, Professor D.P. Ulva sir, Ma'am Anjuvali Teku, Sir Kumar sir, to please come up and light the lamp. Take us to knowledge and take us to learning and unlearning as well. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now I request ma'am to please address the gathering with the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
नमस्कार। उसमें भी इनिंग्स होती हैं और कहीं ना कहीं हमने सुना कि शायद हम लोग का इंटरेस्ट उधर भी होगा। उसमें इनिंग होती है पहली और दूसरी, तो मैं गुस्ताखी कर रही हूँ। मैं दूसरी इनिंग में आ रही हूँ सर। आई हैव ऑलरेडी एड्रेस्ड एंड हैड अ स्मॉल इंटरेक्शन विद द स्टूडेंट्स। तो नमस्कार दोबारा से। एंड नाउ ऑफिशियली मेरी ये जिम्मेवारी है and it is a pleasant duty and proud privilege to welcome Professor D.P. Verma sir. मैंने सबसे नाम पूछ लिया गुस्ताखी करके and I got to know his full name is Professor Dhirendra Pratap Verma. And कुछ आदतें होती हैं इंसान की, हर किसी के अपने कुछ सोच विचार का तरीका होता है and I think he doesn't. That's my understanding. He doesn't need an introduction about people who are new to the field of law. They may not be knowing him, but all of us who are already there in the legal fraternity are acquainted and well versed with the accomplishments of Professor Verma. अपने नाम के हिसाब से बिल्कुल उचित उसको उल्लेखित करते हुए धीरेन्द्र सर ने क्या कुछ नहीं किया, मैं वो कह नहीं पाऊंगी क्योंकि he has indulged in 2 different streams. Being in academia, he has participated in various international forums. He has been invited as a renowned speaker and researcher. So हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या, पढ़े लिखे को फारसी क्या, तो इससे ज़्यादा तो मैं उनके बारे में कुछ नहीं कहूँगी because that is the privilege of the convener of this entire orientation program. I would only say, sir, extremely beholden to you that so hard-pressed against time as a member of Law Commission, you accepted our invitation. And we look forward to your continuous guidance and support and collaboration. और शायद हक से कहीं मान भी लूँगी कि अगली बार आपको फिर बुलाएंगे तो मना मत कीजिए। And the very first statement was students are more important. The moment we said, sir, at least पानी पी लेते हैं, students are more important than all this. तो जाहिर सी बात है जब हम आपको इनके लिए बुलाएंगे तो आप मना तो नहीं कर पाएंगे, लेकिन मैं पहले से ही अपना दस्तरखान खोल के बैठी हूँ। तो we would certainly love to have you again here, sir. And at this moment, just welcoming you to learn from you and find directions. And he has himself chosen the topic with reference to the freshers. कि लॉ में अगर वो आ रहे हैं तो क्या कुछ सोच विचार कर सकते हैं, क्या क्या उनकी एस्पिरेशंस पॉसिबली हो सकती हैं। सो नॉट स्टैंडिंग बिटवीन यू एंड सर, आई टेक बैक माय सीट। बहुत ज़्यादा बोली, धन्यवाद। माफी चाहती हूँ
The word, but the positivity which you bring along with you, which really inspires each one of us. Thank you so much, ma'am. I would again request ma'am to please hand over our token of gratitude to Professor Verma, Professor D.P. Verma. so much, sir. And thank you, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Anil token of gratitude to ma'am. Professor Anju Wali. I would again request Dr. Anil to give a token of gratitude to Professor L. Pushpakumar. And to Dr. Vikesh. It's always pleasure, ma'am, and it's not only conceding to request, there's much more learning behind it. Thank you so much for that. Now I humbly request Professor L. Pushpakumar to introduce Professor G.P. Verma. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Sanjeev. We are so privileged and honored to have amongst us Professor D.P. Verma ji, the member of Law Commission of India. As Madam has rightly stated that, he needs no introduction because of the achievements that he has done in his long career is known to many of you. And as law students, the new students who have come here, you should know the depth in which he has dealt in the field of international law. I will just highlight some of the achievements that the sir has made in the field of law. Professor D.P. Verma has earned his MA degree in history and pursued LLB course in the securing first division from Patna University. And later he did LLM from Dalhousie University, Canada. And he feels extremely honored to have studied under the supervision of Professor MacDonald, former Dean of Dalhousie Law School. And he later became Judge of the European Court of Human Rights. Public international law, jurisprudence and human rights law have been his areas of interest and research during his long career of almost 40 years in the field of education. And sir has entered into teaching profession as a lecturer in the field of law in the University of Allahabad in 1977, and later he joined law school at Banaras Hindu University in 1979, where he was elevated to the position of Professor of Law in 1997. He has, to his credit, has an experience of 20 years as professor in Banaras Hindu University, which is a university of national importance, Central University of national importance. And sir has been a founder director of academic and interdisciplinary discussion group of students, teachers and scholars, a popular intellectual group which is functioning even now, which is in the university campus, BHU campus, from 2000 to 2015. Even now I think it is still functioning vibrantly. Sir was selected as one from India among the 32 jurists selected from all over the world, and participated in the research work in 1986 session of Hague Academy of International Law in Netherlands. And Professor Verma has been honored with the title of Manavadhikar Parasmani by Human Rights and Anti-Narcotics Investigation Bureau, and another award, Vidvat Samman, by Akhil Bharatiya Vidvat Parishad. He has guided 7 PhD theses, 37 LLM dissertations. He has contributed number of research articles and books in the field of law. And presently, sir is a member of, before assuming the present position, sir has also served as additional director of research and training in the National Judicial Academy, and now he is serving as a member of the Law Commission of India. We are all very proud to have you, having you here, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation within a short notice and blessing us with your orientation lecture for all of us. Thank you very much, sir. As I told you in the beginning, it is a very special day for all of us. A special day because you are all new. You have joined the law course with the big dreams. And all those dreams will be possible when you study the field of law with the right approach, with the right understanding. That needs a strategy. And that is why, Professor is here to tell you all that how to study this. Okay? So now, with this I conclude. Thank you very much, sir, once again for accepting our invitation.
Professor L. Kumar and my brother Dr. Vikesh Tripathi, my young friend, and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I must say I apologize for the delay in coming to this program, and I have kept you waiting for so many minutes. I am extremely sorry for the delay. However, once I have selected this topic on the vocation of law study for students, I want to orient you all people with regard to law study. And here, the first thing is very important in the life of a student, that he has become a part of the family of the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. It is a great institution, and learned teachers are there, and one can learn many things from these scholars who have joined this faculty from different parts of the country. Since it is going to be your alma mater, you should feel proud that one day you will come out with a degree from this university, and this degree and the environment which you will have in this faculty of law must reflect in your personality throughout your life after getting the LLB. Besides this, I first start with this idea. The word is on the vocation of the law study for it. What is the meaning of vocation? Why I have selected this word? And if you look to the dictionary, perhaps it appears that vocation is directly related with profession. And sometimes, if you go to much detail, you will find that vocation at one point, vocation means profession, it cannot be separated from that. On the other count, the vocation is completely different from profession. I have not used the word on the profession of law study. There cannot be a profession of law study. A profession in legal field can only be possible after getting education. But what is the meaning of vocation? I have used this word with certain idea that once we have joined as a student in a law school, we must know what is the sense of purpose in having this law study. With what purpose I have joined it? This is a very difficult thing. If there are 100 students in this hall, and if I ask this question to each one of you, different kinds of answers will be coming up. But what is the best answer? What is to think? There is there any need of some sense of purpose with regard to the study of law. These are certain things, and for this purpose, I have brought few questions. Number one, why you have chosen to study law? But this is the first question. And I'm not going to ask you to give me answers, but I will explain what is there and what kind of answers we are receiving from the students from time to time. And at the same time, there is a need that how an interest must be created in the study. And the other thing is that we must know what type of law is a subject. Now, to approach it, I start with three stories. One story is of my friend, and he was a student of sociology in BA, and he passed BA and joined MA in sociology. The head of the Department of Sociology asked that student, why you have joined our department for the study of sociology? He was surprised. He could not answer why he had joined MA course in sociology. He could not answer. And he asked his teacher, sir, you tell me what would be the best answer of this question. The teacher said at that time, the best answer is you say, I have interest. And for the entire life he used to say, I have interest in sociology, that's why I have this study. At later stage, he studied sociology and he tried for job and he could not get any job for 1 year. He was very disturbed, what should I do? Then he thought, it is better he should study law, because he will get 3 years study, and if within 3 years time he gets a job, then he will leave law study and he will become a teacher of the job. And in this way he spent 3 years time. Now, question is, what was the purpose of the study of law? That the student do have to think entire life. The second story is, I went to a university in Rajasthan for a lecture, and once the lecture was over, many students came to me, and earlier the students used to come to me for photographs, but here in 2023 they came to me for photograph and selfie. Now the time has completely changed from photograph to photograph. But after talking to many of these students, I asked one girl student, she was LLB first year student, why you have joined the Faculty of Law in this University of Rajasthan? She was surprised. She had never imagined that this type of question will be asked. And I said, don't think over it, just I want immediate answer. And she said, sir, my father told me that you should study. Okay. I could not say whether his father was wrong or whether she was wrong. But the question is, last question is, what was the purpose of the study of law during natural life? This is the other story is of a professor of a university in UP. He wanted that his daughter should also study law. But his daughter was reluctant that no, I will not. But, and his father said, okay, whatever you decide, you is that. And sometime, she watched a film, Jolly LLB. And after watching that movie, she was very much attracted with the legal profession. And she told to his father that the lawyers are in this way in the court. It is very interesting profession. And thereafter, she changed her mind that she wants to be a lawyer, and for this purpose she joined. Now these are the three stories. In one story, a student who could not get job, he joined law. This was the purpose. Second one, where her father mentioned that you should study law, therefore she came to law. And the third was that he was very much motivated towards this subject because of watching movie, and there was the purpose of the study. If this question is asked to many students, one will say, well, my father, my uncle are great lawyers, and I want to carry that legal profession, therefore I have joined. But there is the purpose. The one is, there are many families who are coming from very rural background. There is no person in the family as a lawyer. And if he gets a law degree and gets a license to practice, he will be the first generation lawyer in his family. Besides this, some students say, I want to become a good lawyer because it's a very good package. And many of the students who are there in the National Law University, they dream to be a corporate lawyer and large amount of money in their pocket, and this is their dream. Some students in the traditional university want to become judge, or they don't want to join judicial services. And besides this, I remember one time that there was a vice chancellor of the National Law University who visited Banaras Hindu University and he interacted with the students. And he asked the question to the students, why you have joined law study? What is your dream? And he was expecting that every student will say, I want to become a good lawyer, or I want to join a corporate world to earn money. But he was surprised that in BHU, 4 or 5 students stood up and he said, after the study of law, I want to serve my society. This type of answer from the student of BHU surprised that vice chancellor. He had never expected that the student had also say that this may be the purpose of his study of law. Well, with this background, I am coming to this idea that if the question is raised, you must think, everyone, each one of you must think that why you have studied, you joined the faculty of law, what is your interest? If your interest has not developed, how this interest in the subject of law may be created, it may be developed by each student. If you develop interest in the subject of law, law will love you and you will love law. And this will, and this will go with you, I think the purpose of legal study will be very much served. Now, I'm coming to the next question. Many of you have come after 3 years of bachelor's degree. Someone might have done BA in some humanities, social science, or other disciplines. But have you ever thought how this law is different from other subjects? You have studied your graduate study for 3 years in some discipline, and what you have done, you have spent 3 years' time and you have come out with a PhD. Okay? The purpose was you wanted only a degree in your hand. And it was very easy. The passing of BA degree was not difficult. The teachers used to come, they deliver lectures, and the students have hung up and written the answer, and he got very good marks in the subject. But I want to tell you that law is a discipline different from other subjects. Why? It is not, you should not think that it is subject like history, political science, sociology, or other subjects that within 3 years you will get a very good knowledge of it. It's a law study has certain purpose in itself. And what is that purpose? Here, the world is completely different. The different from the world which you have experienced in your BA study. What is that kind of world? Law has its own world. The world of statutes, the world of articles, the world of judicial decisions from High Court and the Supreme Court. You have to work on it. For example, the subject constitutional law and international law, these are subjects being taught in the law schools, as well as these subjects are also taught in the Department of Political Science. But what is expected from the students of political science to write about constitution and international law in this country? They go to the political aspect, social aspect. But if there is a law student who has a study of law, he will not go to the political aspect and social aspect. He will try to first concentrate on what are the provisions of law, what are the sections, what are the articles, what are the judicial decisions, and how these judicial decisions have developed the interpretation of law. That is the most important. In this way, the study of law is completely different from other disciplines where you do not bother about sections, articles, or judicial decisions. Rather, its perspective is completely different. The other important point with regard to the study of law is that it is a subject which deals with solution of problems. You think once you become a lawyer and you start working as a lawyer, clients will come to you and they will say, sir, I have committed murder. Okay, you can't say, you have committed murder, I can't do anything. He has come, he will pay money and he wants that you should solve the problem. Now, how the problem can be solved? Now, in this, exercise is to be done. And in this exercise, where the law students are being trained in such a way that every problem has many answers. We cannot say that there is only one answer to one problem. If one answer cannot lead to solution of the problem, we can select the other approach. If the second approach is also not viable, we can go to the third, fourth, and fifth, and when we will exercise in such a way, then perhaps we will get certain answers. If something is there, we have to find answers. For example, I simply give you an example. There is a lady who becomes a prostitute and the case comes before the court of law. What the court will say? Oh, the woman has committed such kind of crime and the punishment should be given. But what the lawyer will say? Lawyer will say, my lordship, we have to take into consideration certain facts. This is the case of a lady whose husband has died. There is no one in his family and he is left with a child. Either she should commit suicide or she should kill her child, or she should beg, or she should sell her body to save herself and the life of it. Now this is the sociological perspective of solving the problem. If the legal solution may be directly solve the problem, we can switch over to historical solutions, sociological solution, economic solution, the realist solution, many of the solutions which are available. And that is the great merit of law study. Now here, I will tell you another thing as well, that there are many faculties in our mind. I'm not talking about law, okay? Faculty, or in other words, I will say, there are several nerves in our mind. And the need is, certain nerves must be activated. If someone activates a particular nerve, he can become Amitabh Bachchan, a great actor. One can become a good sportsman if he has developed another nerve in his brain. A person can become a good dancer, a good artist if he has developed that brain. Similarly, there are several nerves, there are several faculties in the brain, and there is a legal faculty, legal nerve in the brain. And the purpose of law study is to educate that legal nerve, so that you can think like a lawyer, talk like a lawyer, and walk like a lawyer. This thing must reflect in your personality, and perhaps this is the main reason of law study is we are going to serve the society, and the problem of the society is to be solved, and for this purpose legal nerves are to be activated. And if legal nerves are to be activated, this can only be possible with the study of law. Therefore, this study of law is very important if we are very serious about the purpose of our study, if we want to do justice with this. You might have understood, and I should not repeat it, but I cannot check myself, I must say. The great statesmen in the world have been with legal background. And they have solved many national problems and international problems. were successful as a great statesman. Why? Because they had legal training. They had legal brain. And this, by virtue of this legal brain and education of the legal nerves in their brain, they were able to think in such a way that they can solve the problem. Therefore, whatever legal profession we adopt, or in whatever area, even though we do not become a lawyer, we join any department or any job, but this type of brain which is there, it will keep us apart from other persons. In any institution, if you go, you work there and you find that you have a law degree from the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi, and there are other persons who have simply BA, MA or PhD in other disciplines, perhaps you will shine through them because you have the particular type of study which has shaped your persona, which has shaped your personality. Besides this, I must say that we must understand what is this law. One thing is that I have mentioned that there is a difference between other sub-disciplines as well as law, and how law appears to be completely different from other disciplines and other subjects. Now the other thing is, what is this law? There are several theories about law, how it has come into being. And once it is said that law has spontaneously developed in the society in the very beginning. Spontaneously developed. What does it mean? The theory says, once there was a need, there was a problem, the people, the persons in those societies thought that there should be their behavior in such a manner. They started working in that way, and it became a usage or custom at that society, and in this way law developed. Now this is one angle, how law has come into our society. And it is also stated that once law came into existence because of the need of the society, what we say, avashyakta avishkar ki janani. When there was a need, we invented a particular action, particular behavior, how we have to maintain our relationship with other persons in the society, with family members and like that, and in this way, usage and custom develop in this way. But with the development of society, law also developed. And what had happened? In that society, the activities were divided into three parts. The one part was language. With the development of society, the language must be developed. And how language developed? Language developed in the hands of linguists who were skilled in grammar. They developed language. And the linguists have developed to a great extent. Because without knowing the grammar, we cannot have a very good command on any language. Otherwise, if I do not have a very good training or skill in grammar, I cannot speak a sentence in law. I simply say, wait, coming like that. Because it is very safe that in simple way we will say like that. I know many students in English convent, they say, they speak in English, but if you try to find out whether the English they are speaking are correct or not, they are not correct. Not they are complete. But I simply want to tell you that language developed in the hand of linguists. The other activity in civilization was the development of science. Science has developed in the hands of the scientists. And we know the science is developing to a great extent, and every time there is scientific and technological advancement in every walk of life. And that is a very good contribution, and it is a civilizational development. The third thing is development of law. Law has also developed. And law is so important that besides language, science, the third activity in a civilization which developed, it was law. But law developed in two streams. One stream is law which is related with day-to-day life, which we experience in the court of law. In the court of law, every time a cases come, and these cases are related with day-to-day problems. And these day-to-day problems, to deal with the day-to-day problems, law had to develop. Many kinds of amendments and changes were made in law to cope with the changing needs at the times of the circumstances. Law has developed to a great extent. This was one stream of development of law. The second stream was law is not only dealing with or related with the behavior of one person with another person, the problems which are coming before the court of law, but law as a subject to also. And there are many scholars who have devoted their time that law should be developed. And here I must tell you, there is a philosophy of law which is popularly in law schools, it is known as jurisprudence. And jurisprudence have developed because of the contribution of jurists. And these jurists were of two types. One is a jurist who had legal background, but there were other jurists who had never studied law, but they developed certain theory. They enriched the domain of law, and the nature and character of law developed to a great extent because of their contribution. Therefore, there is a need of two kinds of personnel in the field of law. One who is involved in litigation, either as a member of bench or the bar, who are dealing with the day-to-day problems. And the second one is that law as a subject has to be developed to a great extent. Besides this, the other interesting point about law is, you have just entered into the law school, and perhaps I do not know what are the subjects which are on their syllabus, but perhaps I give you one example. Perhaps there may be law of torts, law of contract, constitutional law, international law, administrative law, intellectual property rights, cyber law, and many other laws. And once you study these subjects, and if some family members ask you that you have studied for 1 year in the law school of the University Delhi, what you have learned about law? You have said, I have studied Indian Penal Code, Penal Procedure Code, contract, law, and many other subjects. But my friend, you have not been studied. Law is a big tree, and this tree has several branches, and one branch is known as constitutional law, other is administrative law, the third one has contract law, law of tort. You have come across with different branches of law. Law is a big tree, and you can't say that you know everything about law. You have studied or you might have mastered only one branch of law. And that is the idea of law, which is generally found in many of the law schools, and students must understand that they must know what is law. That is it. Because even if a student has come out with a law degree, in all these 3 years, he will be studying different branches. But if a question is asked, what is law? I know one story. A teacher was teaching in Cambridge University, Faculty of Law. And once he completed the course, a student stood up and he asked the question, "Sir, you have taught law for 1 year, and I have studied law for 3 years, but I still do not understand what is law. Now, what is your answer to this question?" The teacher laughed and he said, "Law is a three-letter word, L-letter." Well, this is a true story that a teacher in the University of Cambridge gave such kind of answer to the student. Besides this, the question of law, what is law, is very difficult. And this idea is very much changing from time to time. How that it is changing from time to time. Suppose we would have been born, in the Stone Age or Paleolithic age, and someone would have come to us and asked us, what is law in your society? What answer is expected from us? The law is something which is coming from God. If there is rain, if there is lightning, and if these are the we feel that God is not happy with us and He is going to punish us. Therefore, there was such idea. It is law has something to do with divinity, but this idea continued. Then came the next stage in the society. And what was the next stage? Our society developed, and we did not say it is coming from God. We used to give answer that whatever words are being uttered by my father is law for me. What my father says, it is the law. That was the time when he used to understand the meaning of law in such a way. Then the third development came up when it was said, it is not something which is coming from the mouth of my father. Rather, it is being decided by Panchaparameshwar. And it is the society of the village which makes the law, and we have to abide by it. Then the next phase came when it was stated, king gives law. And whatever is being stated by king in a monarchical form of government, that is law for the society, and every citizen in the society has to obey and respect that. This was the another meaning of law. The next one is that it is not the monarchical form of government. Everywhere, in most of the countries, there is democratic form of government. And in democratic form of government, where is law? Law is made by the parliament. It is not made by king, one person, but it is our representative sitting in the parliament who decide what would be law, and whatever law is made by the parliament, we feel that this is our law and we are bound to respect this law. Now you see how this meaning of law has changed from the Paleolithic age up to the recent time. Now the other development has taken place. Law not only develops in the parliament, rather law develops with the decision of the court. Law is created, law is manufactured within the four walls of the judiciary, the court of law, and court gives a decision, and it does not change any amendment in the words of the constitution. Constitution is the same, but the interpretation which is being given by the Supreme Court enlarges the scope of particular provision of the law. Therefore, law is changing very fast, and we cannot say which definition is correct, and perhaps we will say that today we understand this is the law. Well, if we are in the 21st century and we say that it is law is created by the parliament, it is made by the parliament, as well as it is created within the four walls of the judiciary, these are two important things. The judiciary, the legislation and the judicial decisions, these are the most important things for a student of law, particularly in the 21st century. We do not know what will be the fate in the next century with regard to the nature and understanding of law at that time. Besides this, the other thing which is interesting, and we must know, that law is always related with society. Society is in the center and law moves around that. Therefore, whatever there is a law, everything in society is covered by law. That's why the study of law is very important. It moves around society, and once it moves around society, whether it is political life, it is social life, it is religious life, it is economic life, or whatever life it is, if there is any problem in our family between two brothers, If there is a problem with any women, man and women in a family, if there is a problem with friends, if there is a problem in business, you think of anything, everywhere there is problem. Law is important not only in the field of law, it is also important in agriculture, in education, in medicine, in management, and everywhere there is. We cannot think of anything where law is not required. That's why a great challenge is with us, and law as a subject is calling all the students that we should be aware about this kind of situation. But what is law? At the same time, I say another thing, that law is something which regulates the relationship of individual inter se. What I mean to say? Law regulates the relationship of individual inter se between one individual and other individual. If there is a problem of contract or agreement between two persons, it is a question of relationship between individual inter se. Law regulates it. Law does not come from the above. It is not coming from king. It is not coming from God. Law is which has been made by us. And it regulates our behavior, our actions, relationship of one individual with another individual. Besides this, relationship of one individual with the state. You will study in law, once individual has got fundamental rights, there is the state and individual are opposed to each other. Because individuals say our fundamental rights are violated and the state is responsible. Therefore, there is a question of relationship between individual and the state, and that is also regulated by law. Once law regulates the relationship of individual with the state, relationship of individual with any non-governmental organization or international organization or any organization, there are certain formulas. And this formula is very important, and I think everyone should understand it, that if there is any question of the relationship between individual or relationship with individual with the state, the solution of the problem should be on the basis of the needs, values, and goals of each society. I am using this word. Needs, goals, and values of each society. What does it mean? Need is the current one. Today, the need of today's society in 2023 may be completely different from the need of the society in 1947. Now here, we have to understand what is the need of the present society, and that is to be taken into consideration. The second one is the goals of the society. Goals have been clearly stipulated in the preamble of our charter, where it is said what is the goal of the society. And that goal is that if these problems are to be solved, not only we have to confine to the present need of the society, the future need, what will be the goal of the society. The goal of the society should not be disturbed. And besides this, the values of the society. And what do we mean by values? Values are coming from the past. Values are coming from our culture. And these are some of the things which are existing in our society, and we should be aware that it should be. Therefore, new education policy, which has been brought by our government, which has introduced that even every law school should concentrate on ancient knowledge. Even if the relationship of individuals are concerned, we have to take it. Now I take one sentence here that it is from Mahanarayan Upanishad, and the word is, it is in the logo of the faculty of Banaras University. Dharmo Vishwasya Jagadat Pratishtha. What does it mean? This word is mentioned in Mahanarayan Upanishad. Dharmo Vishwasya Jagadat Pratishtha. It is in Sanskrit. It's very difficult for many of us to understand. But it means that Dharma is not dharma. It is dharma is law. Law sustains the entire universe. This universe is governed by law. How the sun will rise, how it will come to the in the evening, and the air, water, and all these things which are in their cosmic world. There is a law, and there is a harmony in the functioning of this law. If suppose this order is disturbed at the cosmic level, what will happen? It will be difficult for us to survive. Therefore, in G20, the slogan was given, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What is the meaning of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam? Generally, we understand that the entire human family, human beings are our family. It is the Vasudha is our Kutumbakam. But it is not that individual. Indian society or the Hindu religion, which have given importance in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the clear understanding of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is, it is not the family of human beings only, it also includes animals, plants, and environment. And in Indian society has been versing the rivers, mountains, plants, trees, and they have the humane consideration with regard to it. And once it is written in, once it is mentioned, this dharma within, that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, it clearly means that entire world is. Therefore, what I have said, that if we have to make any decision with regard to solution of problem, we should not only be moved away by the present need of the society. Equally important is what is the goal, future goal of our society, at the same time, what is the vision which we have inherited, what is the value of our society which is coming from our ancient time, and that is very important. Now, I am coming to the end. Now here, the main thing which I have stated earlier, that you must have interest. Okay, very good word. But how to create interest in what? That is the key. I do not know a very good answer, but what has come to my mind, I can explain to you. That many of you must have some problems in your family, in your village, in your community. Once you are studying law, try to solve, try to think how that problem of your family can be solved. One can talk to the teacher. You can go to the law books. We can go to the judicial decisions, that if there is such type of problem in my family, how I can solve it. Then once you will stick to your personal problem, the problem of your family, problem of your community, problem of your village, ultimately you will find much interest in the subject. That this subject is going to help me, to help in solving the problem. This is one way of creating interest in the subject. And I know many of the students must have some kind of problem in the problem. No one can say that I have no problem at all. If there is no problem at all, then you are the very luckiest person in the world. The other thing is, the second mantra is that how to create interest. We may be very much sensitive to certain problems in society, that this is a social problem. The question is, if the teacher is teaching a subject, we should think what social problem is related to it, and how the social problem can be solved. You ask the question to the teachers, sir, you are teaching these subjects. You have told me these are the sections where it is stated. But you tell me, this is the problem. For example, if it is a problem of a Dalit or scheduled tribe or OBC or anyone, do you feel that it is a great problem in the society? Although we say that it is a problem of women, in the constitution of law, we have studied about, we know there is equality before law or equal protection. But well, if the constitution has said that there is equality before law and equal protection of law, you ask any women, do you think that you have equal treatment in the society? she will say, we have got de jure equality, legal equality, but the factual equality is completely. Now, question is, can we address the factual equality? Very recently, Mrs. Goldin, Professor Goldin, has got Nobel Prize in economics with regard to the employment gap between the married women and the labor market. She has made a study of 200 years. She has stuck into it. Similarly, there can be several types of problems in the society. And as a social activist, it is our duty, we should stick to it. And if we take up this cause, I'm sure you will get interest in the study of law. And in this way, the interest is to be developed. It is not simply that the teacher has taught the subject and we are going to the library reading it, and at the end, I'm devoting all the time with my WhatsApp and playing the television. We should give much more importance to our study and all this. And the last thing is, what is the learning outcome? What we are studying, what we have ultimately, what is the outcome of that learning? And the outcome of learning cannot be possible unless you have some empirical observation of many of these problems. Maybe a subject is being taught, but if you are not getting any out of thing, there is no output of learning. This means it is not something the teacher will teach everything to you. The purpose of the teacher is to introduce the subject, to tell you that these are the periphery of the subject, these are the issues, but you have to work hard. The teacher wants only 25%, 50% attention, you have to. And once you devote 50% of time to your legal study, I think you will be far better, more knowledgeable than the teacher. With these words, I close my presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. Words will fail. Words fail me because I don't know how to put what a delight it was, sir, to hear you in person, though I have stalked you during COVID time, online, and I have just heard not many times more, but what a delight, sir, personally, and I think it is such a pleasure for the students and privilege for them to hear you in person. Thank you so much, sir. Only a modesty was here to play for before us. The last word which touched me thoroughly is that you will be better than your teachers. We are longing for the day that their students are much better and far above us. Thank you so much. And I think as a teacher, each one of us pray before entering the class that we would like to see our students outshining each one of us. Thank you so much, sir. Now we are towards the end of the session, and before I call upon Vikesh Tripathi to exchange vote of thanks, I would, if sir permits, we can take some questions. Okay, sir. So if any one of you have any question, sir would be more than happy to respond. But then I think you need to come up because we have only 2 mic systems.
Yes, please.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Bhavya Gaur from Bardme, Rajasthan. I am from FG1 first year. Our society is largely dharmic, but laws regulating our dharmic society isn't much dharmic. Is this our inability to evolve as a civilization?
Pardon? Can you repeat it again?
Our society is largely dharmic, but laws regulating our dharmic society isn't much dharmic as evident by our constitution. Is this our inability to evolve as continuing and evolving civilization?
I don't think there is any problem with regard to it. It is our society, and many things are being enshrined in the constitution, and besides this, the society can take up other steps as well. But it is very controversial because many of the political parties may not agree to it. Therefore, the answer cannot be stated in a very frank manner that this is the solution. I think solution may come from the people in the society. That's what we decide.
Sir, you said about need, goals and values of society. Don't you think dictating from constitution, values dictating from constitution is like dictating to the society what they need to be done, what they, in which direction they want to evolve?
Now, my friend, the two things. One, there is a need. Need in today's society is completely different. It has to be solved. That is particular thing. Okay? And how it will be solved, the answer should lie with the lawyers. They have to find out the answer how it can be done. So far as the goals of the society are changing, the goals of society are also changing. But if you look at the preamble, it clearly states about justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity and everything. These are the goals of the society. There should be a justice, social, political, economic. There has to be equality, liberty, and fraternity. These are the cherished goals to which we should move towards. Okay? Now, there is other difficulty as well with regard to the constitution. There is generally controversy whether secularism should be there or not. Whether secularism should be considered as a value or not. Now, there is some difference of opinion among the constitutional lawyers that so far as the value is concerned, values are only four. Justice is a value, equality is a value, liberty is a value, dignity and dignity is the value. But so far as we speak about democratic, socialist, republic and all these things, these have been stated earlier. We, the people of India, have constituted India as a democratic, republic, socialist, and all these words are there. Well, this is the structure of society. But so far as the value is concerned, secularism is not a value. This is my view, and I'm willing to discuss it with any constitutional lawyer if he says that no, secularism is also a value. And in my view, it is not. Any other question? Please.
सिर्फ जो सर ने कहा है उसी को थोड़ा सा अगर आगे बढ़ाऊं तो सर ने जैसे कहा कि वैल्यूज हैं चार, जस्टिस की बात करते हैं, इक्वालिटी की बात करते हैं, फ्रेटर्निटी की बात करते हैं, बंधुत्व की। तो जो भी वैल्यूज दी हुई हैं, मेरी जो कुछ जानकारी है उसमें मैं समझती हूँ कि these are the components of धर्म। So we should not think on the lines कि constitution जो है positively made है, it is by political superior or political inferior, and we were governed by colonial masters and all that. Despite all that, the preamble gives us that dharmic notion of our governance. It is for us to understand that where is this value, where is that dharma that we need to follow while conceptualizing, theorizing, laying down and implementing law. बस इतना ही कहना चाहूँगी। धन्यवाद।
Dharmic society. And there is difference between dharma and religion. Yes. You have question?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. I am Dilip Kumar. I am a student of first year. Sir, as you are one of the members of Law Commission, so Law Commission releases many reports time and again. Sir, how far there will be a political influence as far as Law Commission reports are concerned? Be it deciding the age of consensual sex, or be it deciding the same-sex marriages, or be it uniform civil code. These debates we are happening day in and day out. So how far there will be a political influence on the law commission reports and how to deal with it?
Okay, very good question. Now, few things you have mentioned. One is about political yes, and the other thing you have mentioned about uniform civil code and consensual sex and other things, and many other things. My friend, it is whatever is coming in the newspaper, it is completely different. We do not go and even the government does not use it. Okay? It is simply we get reference either from some courts. For example, we have submitted very recently a report on boxing. Okay? That was because the Karnataka High Court and Madhya Pradesh High Court had brought this matter to the knowledge of the law commission. It wanted that we should provide answer to these things. Therefore, we have responded to the queries of the Karnataka High Court and Madhya Pradesh High Court. And even the government has not, and we simply submit our report. It is upon the government whether it accepts it or it doesn't. For example, we had submitted a report on sedition. We had said that these should be the main, but it has not been accepted. The government has introduced 3 criminal laws, and here section 124A of the Indian Penal Code, which was there, we had made certain suggestions, but under this Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, which is to replace Indian Penal Code, it is not there. Government says that we are not included sedition, but it is there in clause 150. Therefore, there is no interference from the government. And whatever the problems come from the court or the Supreme Court or ministries of law and justice or external affairs, these are the matters confidentially and we are working on. We do not work because in no case we want that the government should be invited to intervene and no government never asks. You see, within these 3 bills we have submitted, government. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Can I go? Can I?
Okay, just please.
Hello, sir. So I am a student of first year LC1. So my question is, there is a major issue in judiciary today is the delay. The delay in the quality of justice. So what can we do, like as law students also, as society also, and as future members of hopefully legislature, what can we do to, implement and fast track justice? And second thing you touched upon is gender equality. So today there is a huge controversy about gender norms in society and judiciary implementing them through legal laws, especially the Same-Sex Marriage Act. So what do you think about the fact that can judiciary intervene into the social norms, or there should be social consensus leading to the legal reforms?
Well, you have raised a good question here. It is good. What was your first question?
Fast track justice.
On the delay in the judiciary. Well, that is a great problem. And it is not only problem with we people, everyone in judiciary, whether it is Supreme Court or High Court or the Ministry of Law and Justice, they are aware, they are working on it. And how to reduce. There have been several steps which have been taken. How to reduce this pendency of the case. There are many cases which are waiting for the last 10 years and 20 years what is to be done. Certain instructions have been given by High Court to different district courts and like that if there are cases for pending for last 10 years, it should be taken fast. If there are cases, some certain mechanism has been developed. Besides this, the government has given large amounts of money to start with e-management, and there are national grid and the judicial grid, and where these are being taken care of. It will take time. It cannot be solved because the judiciary is trying to solve many of the cases, but at the same time hundreds of new cases are. That is also the reality.
So the major controversy right now was the quality of justice as well. So the appointment of judges and the new services that the government was planning to bring about. So what are your views about the same?
Yeah, what was the question?
So the judicial services. So basically there was a major issue of nepotism in the judiciary itself. that is a major reason that most of the posts aren't fulfilled.
Well, these are some of the questions on which I may not like because of certain reasons. Because something I cannot say anything publicly. I'm extremely. You can share your opinion, sir. No, I can't give my opinion. Right, that's why I'm extremely sorry. Yes.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Myself Shivam Upadhyay. I am a third year student of Law Center 1. Sir, I have 3 questions. Sir, सबसे पहले, sir, is there any difference in code and law?
Code and law. Technically, there is a difference. I would not know. Law is something which is not academic nature, which is a kind of resistance. Once we say code, code is an institution where a litigation.
Not code, sir. Code. Code. Code and law.
Code and law. The law is a very generic term, it is a larger term. Okay? Then there is a code. Code is something where different acts are brought together and it forms a particular code. There may be certain acts and statutes. These acts and statutes are different. There can be several acts and statutes. But once they are accommodated of the same nature at one place, they become a kind of code.
Sir, my second question is, sir, like in your stories, you said that some student said, why do you want to become a lawyer and advocate? Then he said that I want to earn a package of money. Sir, I think everyone wants to earn a good livelihood. Then and everyone in the society is serving the society by their works. Sir, then it is, I think it is good to earn a good livelihood either by any profession. So, should there be a prescribed answer that I want to serve the society by professing legal service?
Everyone wants to have a good life.
Right.
And for a good life, there should be a certain amount of money which must be earned. But we are not thinking about our livelihood. We want a very good package. Okay, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs for my year or like that. In this way, they are more concerned in the packages, in the corporate sector. That is completely different. I say it is the present reality that a person will not a lawyer. He joins a multinational company today. And if he is getting 2 lakhs per month, and if there is an offer of 4 lakhs in another company, he will immediately go. Now, it is not a question of livelihood. It is a dream that no, I should earn so much. Okay. And for this purpose, I say, if you look to the culture of the National Law University, I must not say, but I have found many of the students in National Law University, they dream to have corporate jobs for having good packages.
Right, sir. Sir, my last question. Sir, last year when we were in third semester, there was a subject which was named earlier WCC, White Collar Crimes, and then last year it was converted into socio-economic offenses. Sir, and the 2 major acts were reduced, the NDPS Act and Human Trafficking Act. Sir, as a member of the Law Commission, sir, how do you suggest that are not these acts, are not these problems are related to the socio-economic, are these only white collars?
So it is not so. Those are the subjects which are being taught in the universities. They are decided by the University Grants Commission or the Bar Council of India. And Bar Council of India makes opinions from time to time. And no one can ask the Bar Council of India why you have removed one subject and you have introduced the other subject. And when in earlier occasions, the law issues have raised objections to the Bar Council of India, and in many of just as an information. Now it is in the so some of the universities, there are subjects like sports law. In some of the universities, there are subjects like nuclear law, energy law, which subjects are not being taught in many of the universities. Now therefore, there are certain authority to the institution which takes a decision which some subjects are to be kept there, and if there is an aid coming from the Bar Council of India, the faculty has to be there.
No, sir, I wanted to know your opinion that these.
What my opinion? It is in the hands of the Bar Council of India and the faculty. What can I do?
Okay, sir.
I am
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
नमस्कार सर, मैं मिथिलेश कुमार हूँ और फर्स्ट ईयर का स्टूडेंट हूँ। सर मुझे भाषा को लेकर एक सवाल थे। हमारे कोर्ट में जो भाषा अंग्रेजी भाषा का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है, तो मुझे कई बार फील होता है कि जैसे पुराने समय में ऊपर और आम नागरिक के बीच एक गिलाड़ी रहा करता था जो मीडिएटर का काम करता था, ठीक वैसी वकील की स्थिति हो गई है कि जज और आम नागरिक के बीच जज भी खड़ा है और इन दोनों के बीच क्या बातचीत होती है आम आदमी तक पहुँचती नहीं है। जैसे कि मैं बिहार से आता हूँ, बिहार में है कि अंग्रेजी भाषा इलीट लोगों की भाषा है और पूरे भारतवर्ष में लगभग यही सिचुएशन है। तो मेरा मानना है कि जिस स्टेट में जिस भाषा का प्रचलन ज्यादातर में हो, उस भाषा में कोर्ट की कार्रवाई हो तो इसमें क्या नुकसान या फायदे फायदे तो समझ में मुझे आ रहा है, नुकसान नहीं समझ पा रहा। जैसे तमिल का व्यक्ति है और उसकी भी अंग्रेजी में
मैं आपकी बात समझ गया। एक चीज तो ये है कि मैं आपकी बात का जवाब दे रहा हूँ, लेकिन सबसे बड़ी चीज ये है कि जब कोई इलेक्शन होता है और उस इलेक्शन में जो चीजें उठाई जा रही हैं उसके ऊपर और उससे बाहर अगर प्रश्न पूछा गया तो हजारों प्रश्न पूछने में उतना समय। जहाँ तक जो क्षेत्रीय भाषा है, इस भाषा में का उपयोग कोर्ट में होना चाहिए, इसकी पहल हो रही है और हमारे मुख्य न्यायाधीश जो है DY चंद्रचूड़ जी, उन्होंने भी इसकी शुरुआत की है कि हर जगह अगर महाराष्ट्र है तो वहाँ मराठी में, बंगाल है तो वहाँ बंगला है, तमिल में, मलयालम में, इसी तरह से थोड़ा समय लगेगा। ये परिवर्तन आ रहा है और आएगा जल्दी। देखिए अभी जो भी प्रश्न हो, मेरे जो लेक्चर हुए हैं उस पर से संबंधित हो, अदरवाइज।
First of all, very good evening, sir. Respected sir, respected ma'am, and all the dignitaries who are present here. This is Vivek Shukla from Section F. Sir, I have very basic question. After knowing the purpose of pursuing law, developing interest, what is the first thing a law student should do, and what are 5 things must do things, and what are 5 things every law student should avoid? This is the basic question.
There is nothing written anywhere. Okay, it is only on the basis of our own experience I tell to the students. Now here, the most important thing is that one must know, one should introspect oneself, why I have come to this, why I have joined law school. This idea must be very much clear. If it is not clear that someone has told me, therefore I have joined law, this is not. If I am not getting any job, therefore I have joined, this is not. Therefore, the purpose must be very much focused, it must be robust, it must be very much clear. That is the purpose. And if you have identified it, and if you identify it is very difficult for you, okay, then the only thing is if the problem is not solved by introspection of yourself, you ask your elder, your father, your brother, your family to discuss with them. You talk to your teachers and you shape your idea with regard to that, and then you should think, you devise your own way how interest can be created. I have given only illustrations that number one, that your personal problem of your family like that going to the society, and the third thing is the interest may be created by learning from it. These are the three things which I have mentioned on the basis of my experience. Well, yes, it is not question 5 or 6. Well, I will have to think over it because spontaneously it is very difficult for me to answer. But since you have raised this question, I will think over it.
Thank you for the time, sir. Basically, I have a question which is not really very related to the lecture, but I would like to get some answers on it. So the thing is that as many countries are joining the vogan of recognizing male rapes these days. So what are you male rapes, sir? Male rapes.
Okay.
Yeah. The harassed way of getting these kinds of physical nature things from a male. What are your opinions? Why our country is not joining that vogan in these particular era of time?
There may be several reasons. For example, with regard to abortion, it is very much issue present in the Supreme Court. Similarly, the same-sex marriage and awareness about the male and all these things. These are new problems which are coming in our society, perhaps maybe because of the Western influence or like that. But some path has to be shown, and that is only possible once the problem comes before the court and court makes a particular decision. Then, or otherwise, if we leave everything upon the parliament, perhaps we may not get possible. The best way is the judiciary will have to give an opinion, and perhaps it may be possible.
Thank you for the answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for responding to all these questions. Now I would request Dr. Brigesh Tripathi to extend vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. न तो हम कामेरे राज्य न स्वर्गम न पुनर्भवम कामेरे दुक्ताक्तानम प्राणी नामार्थिनासनम। इस ध्येय वाक्य के साथ कि मुझे न तो हम कामेरे राज्य में राज्य की कामना नहीं है, न स्वर्गम न पुनर्भवम, न स्वर्ग की कामना है, न पुनर्मेरे जन्म हो ऐसी कामना है। कामेरे दुक्ताक्तानम प्राणी नामार्थिनासनम। अगर प्राणी मात्र के दुखों को मैं हर सकूं ऐसी मेरी कामना है। इन सभी कामनाओं के साथ हम सर्वे भवन सुखिना की भावना के साथ सीखे, लाखों लाखों पढ़े, लाखों जाने। इस भावना के साथ परम श्रद्धेय आदरणीय विधि के क्षेत्र में मेरे शिल्पी और भारत सरकार लॉ कमीशन के सदस्य प्रोफेसर डी.पी. वर्मा सर, विधि विभाग की आदरणीय विधि केंद्र प्रथम की प्रमुख आदरणीय अंजू वाली कुमार, सेमिनार समिति जो आयोजक है इस ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम की, उसके प्रमुख प्रोफेसर एल कुमार सर, सभा में उपस्थित विधि विभाग के वरिष्ठ प्राध्यापक, सहायक प्राध्यापक, आमंत्रित अतिथि और प्रिय विद्यार्थी, विशेष रूप से प्रथम वर्ष LLB कोर्स जिनके लिए इस ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम का आयोजन सेमिनार समिति की तरफ से किया गया। आज वोट ऑफ थैंक्स की जिम्मेदारी है मेरे ऊपर और सामान्य काफी संक्षिप्त शब्दों में, क्योंकि कार्यक्रम के समापन का समय है और अतिथियों का समय काफी सीमित होता है और काफी सारे क्वेश्चन प्रश्न और के उत्तर चर्चा पर चर्चा हुई। जहाँ तक धन्यवाद ज्ञापन का और वो भी आज के मुख्य वक्ता महोदय के लिए, तो मैं अपने आप को समर्थ से नहीं पाता हूँ क्योंकि मेरे पास शब्द नहीं, संवेदनाएं जाने हैं। लेकिन जितने भी सीमित शब्दों में सर आपने हमारे आमंत्रण को स्वीकार किया और अपने व्यस्ततम समय से, क्योंकि व्यक्तिगत रूप से भी और इसके अलावा भी आपकी व्यस्तता हम सभी से परिचित है, फिर भी आप आज शनिवार के दिन अपनी तमाम व्यस्तताओं से आपने समय निकाला और आप यहाँ आए। इसके लिए पूरा दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का विधि विभाग आपके प्रति कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करता है और आभारी है। अपने लेक्चर के दौरान जिन जिन विषयों को विशेष करके जो विधि कि पढ़ाई करने आए प्रथम वर्ष के छात्रों के लिए आवश्यक होती है, कैसे उनको मोटिवेट किया जाए, कैसे आपने 3 उदाहरणों से जब छात्रों को ये पता होना चाहिए कि हम इस कोर्स को क्यों कर रहे हैं, और विशेष करके जब हम लॉ कोर्स की बात करते हैं। साथ ही साथ आपने 2-3 कहानियों के माध्यम से बच्चों को ये बताने की कोशिश की क्या हमें मोटिवेट करना चाहिए जब हमें लॉ पढ़ना चाहिए। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट सर, आपने अपने व्याख्यान में इसके अलावा हाउ टू स्टडी द लॉ, हाउ शुड बी द अप्रोच, कैसे हम विधि की पढ़ाई करें, क्या हमारा अप्रोच होना चाहिए, और अन्य विषयों से जैसे कि इतिहास, भूगोल, पॉलिटिकल साइंस, राजनीतिक विज्ञान आदि विषयों से कैसे विभिन्नता है इसको पढ़ने की, इस पे आपने प्रकाश डाला। आपका एक फेमस कोटेशन आपने कहा कि यू लव द लॉ एंड लॉ विल लव यू। आप लॉ से प्रेम करिए, लॉ आपसे प्रेम करिए। ये विचारणीय, हम सबको इसे कंठस्थ करना चाहिए और इसे समझना चाहिए। और इतना ही नहीं, एक और ध्येय वाक्य आपने दिया कि एक लॉ स्टूडेंट के रूप में हमें थिंक लॉ, वॉक लॉ एंड टॉक लॉ। तो हम लॉ सोचे भी, लॉ की तरह ही हम चलने का भी प्रयास करें विधि की तरह, और वॉक। इसके अतिरिक्त आपने विधि के छात्र या वो लैंग्वेज डेवलप करने के लिए भाषा का विकास, क्योंकि हमारे अंदर भावनाएं हो सकती है, हमारे अंदर विचार हो सकते हैं, लेकिन जब तक हमारे पास भाषा नहीं है तब तक हम उसको एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर सकते, दूसरे तक पहुंचा नहीं सकते। और खास करके लीगल प्रोफेशन, सर का ये भी विचार था क्या ये लीगल प्रोफेशन है या वोकेशन, इस पे भी, क्योंकि आप आज के लेक्चर का भी देख सकते हैं कि वोकेशन शब्द है, सर ने इस पे भी प्रकाश डाला। इसके अतिरिक्त सर ने कहा कि लॉ एक वृक्ष की तरह है, लॉ इज लाइक अ ट्री हैविंग मल्टीपल ब्रांचेस लाइक क्रिमिनल, सिविल, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एंड अदर। तो इसके आपराधिक, सिविल और संवैधानिक और इस तरह के कई और ब्रांचेस हैं। इसके अलावा अतिरिक्त आपने इस पर भी प्रकाश डाला कि जो लॉ है वो समाज के चारों तरफ एक परिधि, विधि का जो काम है वो समाज के चारों तरफ एक परिधि के रूप में समाज की तमाम आवश्यकताओं, समाज के सामने जो समक्ष चुनौतियां, उनको कैसे रेगुलेट किया जाए, इस पे आपने प्रकाश डाला। इसके अतिरिक्त आगे आपने अपने व्याख्यान नीड, गोल्स एंड वैल्यूज, आवश्यकता, मूल्य और उद्देश्य क्या होना चाहिए विधि का भी, और विधि में अध्ययनरत छात्र, शिक्षकों और विधि व्यवसाय को अपने व्यवसाय के रूप में चुनने वाले वकीलों, एडवोकेट्स और प्रैक्टिशनर्स। इसके अतिरिक्त अपने व्याख्यान के अंत में कुछ मार्गदर्शन करते हुए विधि के छात्रों को आपने कहा कि आप डेवलप क्यूरियोसिटी इनसाइड यू, आप अपने अंदर एक जिज्ञासा डेवलप करें। आस्क द क्वेश्चन इन द क्लास इटसेल्फ, जैसे ही ये जिज्ञासा आती है वैसे ही क्लास में हम प्रश्न पूछें। इसके अतिरिक्त एम्पिरिकल ऑब्जर्वेशन, कि हमारा क्या अनुभव है अब तक एज ए लेमैन, और जब हमें लॉ पढ़ाया जा रहा है तो कैसे हम लेमैन से लॉ मन रखते हैं, इस पे आपने प्रकाश डाला। और इसके अलावा जो प्रश्न पूछे गए उसके दौरान भी आपने अपने विचार व्यक्त किए, आपने इतना समय दिया, इसके लिए एक बार पुनः मैं व्यक्तिगत रूप से, साथ ही साथ संस्था के सभी उपस्थित गणमान्य लोगों की तरफ से हम सब आपके आभारी हैं कि आप आए और आपने इन विषयों पे विचार रखा। धन्यवाद ज्ञापन की इस कड़ी में हम सब विदित हैं, जितने लोग हैं, कि विधि संकाय की प्रमुख टीकू मैम की व्यस्तता इन दिनों क्या है, बावजूद इसके आप मैम एक विधि केंद्र प्रथम की संरक्षक होने के साथ साथ इस सेमिनार के समिति की संरचिका भी है और इसके अलावा हमें से कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जिन्हें तो हो सकता है कि विधि विभाग का स्ट्रक्चर थोड़ा सा कि आप सब नए हैं तो 3 केंद्र हैं और आप जो है तीनों केंद्रों की भी प्रमुख बावजूद इसके आपने समय निकाला। मैं विधि केंद्र प्रथम सेमिनार समिति और हम सब आपके आभारी। इसके अतिरिक्त सेमिनार समिति जो इस कार्यक्रम का आयोजन कर रही है और जिसके प्रमुख प्रोफेसर एल कुमार सर, इस पूरे कार्यक्रम की रूपरेखा प्रथम वर्ष के छात्रों के लिए ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम का आयोजन, इसका पूरा सुपरविजन, एक एक चीज का एक एक कार्यक्रम की पूरी रूपरेखा का सारी तरीके से आपने सुपरविजन किया और आपने इस पूरे कार्यक्रम को अपने नेतृत्व में आयोजित किया। इसके साथ ही साथ संजीवनी रैना में डॉक्टर अनिल सेन, डॉक्टर सहवाल सत्यार्थी, डॉक्टर कालीदास, डॉक्टर मेघराज के साथ ही साथ अतिरिक्त जितने भी सेमिनार समिति के सदस्य हैं, उसके अलावा विधि केंद्र के उपस्थित सभी प्राध्यापक और सभी अतिथि आमंत्रित अधिक, विशेष रूप से शिक्षक जी जो कि आप रोहिणी कोर्ट में पब्लिक प्रोसिक्यूटर हैं, आप समय आप आए। इसके अलावा जितने भी हमारे अतिथि हैं उन सबके प्रति हमारा आभार ज्ञापन सेमिनार समिति की तरफ से, विधि केंद्र प्रथम की तरफ से और विधि विभाग की तरफ से। और अब विशेष आप सारे छात्रों को जो आप इस ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम में, जैसा कि डी मैम ने पहले ही कहा कि आज भारत पाकिस्तान का मैच है और इतनी संख्या में आप सब आए, इसके लिए सबसे ज्यादा अगर धन्यवाद ज्ञापन किसी का दिया जाना चाहिए तो इन छात्रों का मेरे हिसाब से, तो आप सभी को धन्यवाद। और पूरा कार्यक्रम जो आयोजित हुआ ये संभव नहीं हो पाता अगर हमारे पास विधि केंद्र में एक वॉलंटियर्स की टीम नहीं होती और वो भी स्पॉन्टेनियस रिस्पॉन्ड कर। खास करके कुछ छात्र हैं जिनका मैं नाम लेना चाहूंगा जिन्होंने काफी अथक परिश्रम किया इस कार्यक्रम को आयोजन करने के लिए। और सर ने आते ही चूंकि सारी रंगोली जो बनाई गई है मुख्य द्वार पर और यहाँ सभागार में, इसकी काफी तारीफ की और पूछा, तो सर आपको बता दूं कि ये पूरा आयोजन, पूरी व्यवस्था केवल मार्गदर्शन था हम लोगों का, बाकी इसका सारा क्रियान्वयन जो है, और आपको भी एक विधि केंद्र के प्रथम वर्ष के छात्र के रूप में जानना चाहिए कि आपके सीनियर्स के द्वारा ये सारी व्यवस्था की गई थी। नेम प्लेट से वाटर बॉटल से लेकर एवरीथिंग वाज नॉट एंड सिर्फ यही नहीं, आगे के जितने भी कार्यक्रम होते हैं छात्र ही करते हैं, तो ये सारे छात्र और मुख्य रूप से अनूप, क्षितिज, सिद्धार्थ, हिमांशु, राजकुमार, सुमित, विनीत, कन्हैया, प्राची, मेघा, उज्ज्वला, सूरज, आशीष, देव, मानसी, सरस्वती और राघव।